they knew that all what I was doing was to try and build the legacy for this family. So they didn't give me much of challenges, but the best thing that they allowed me to do was to go and start afresh. You need sometimes people that will go and vent and say, I thought it was a good business opportunity, but it's a bad one. You need people that are going to listen to you. You need people, even if they don't bring money, but they also bring some sort of comfort, also encourage you that, Baba, you have done it before, you can still do it. So I think they've helped me quite a great deal. But more so, the way I conducted my business when it was doing very well, I think it has helped me, because when I went back to the bank and said, I lost money, they said, okay, no, we can trust you. And it takes both parties to trust each other. The way you're going to conduct your business, your finances now, is going to determine how far your business can go. Because if you misuse the money that you have because you still have, no one will ever trust you with their money going forward. So it's important that you demonstrate a good business character right now, so that even if you make a mistake, remember, people that are in the bank, as much as they are worried about their money, but they understand how business works. And it's easy to explain to those people. The difficulty is to go and explain to people who have never been in business. Because, you see, it's different. They don't understand. They have never purchased a car. They don't understand that sometimes you might, you know what is fun about repaying for a bond for a car. You can be short with 1,000 rand, but you haven't met your installment. So you must try and pay down going forward. So they understand those things. Unlike us, we don't understand those things. We think, so the SAU has helped me.
Thank you. There's another question at the back.
Good evening, everybody. And I'd like to reach Ubaba Mselego. My name is Unompumelelo Kulu. I am the Managing Director of MS Kulu Incorporated. We are a notarial services, conveyancing and property law firm. Mr. Mselego, my question is, apart from what we see on TV, Woody, having 4 wives is quite a stressful thing. And Nami and my life, recently having a baby, and I find that, leaving the office with the stress that comes with the office, and, getting home, I can't just rest, The second part of my life now needs to take over. So my question to you, sir, is how do you handle stress? I can only imagine having 4 wives, 10 children, that, okay, after you leave the office at the end of the day, what is your stress reliever? Do you go for counseling? I don't know, please share that with me, because I'd really like to know.
Okay, so you mean the stress, eh? Okay, let me tell you something. I think my character helps me a lot. There is nothing that is ever too much for me. I think my character helps me, because I don't want to lie to you. I don't consult. Fortunately, Mayan, she's here. I don't, I just life as normal, because I have never been so stressed to an extent that I regret that I have them. I always appreciate and find myself very blessed. I think the best that I have done is to understand them as individuals and their characters. So if a person throws a tennis ball, I throw it back, but in a very softer way than it was thrown to me. I don't think there is no counseling that I go. I don't go to see the pastor because anyway the pastor doesn't have 4 wives. So I also don't consult a marriage counselor because a marriage counselor don't have the wives that I have. I think I have learned to understand them as an individuals. I am able then, for example, they can make the same mistake, but the way I am going to relate to them is different. It's as per their personality. Because sometimes when you shout to this person, might not be happy or okay about it. But when you shout to this one, might then understand where you're coming from. So those are the things that we learn over time. And it takes time to do that. But the last thing that I think is helping me, I'm not worried about what is happening on our way. The only ultimate goal is that we must die together and be buried together. So anything that happens in between is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Whether she shouts at me, she finds me biased, but all those things I will try and engage. But they are immaterial. That is why I will keep them until death do us part. Because that is the ultimate goal. You must have an ultimate goal. So divorce is not an option. So we are stuck together. So we are very stuck, yes. Whether they want to leave me, I guess no man will take them. Men, they respect me in South Africa now. So they will be rejected. So they will die lonely. Because no man will say they want them. But at the same time, I also don't want to lose them. I will be the biggest loser in the scheme of things if one of them leaves. Remember, I am the one who's building this legacy. I always look at it like that. It's like the business part. The biggest person who's going to lose is you if the business perishes or dies. So if I fail to listen to them, to respect them, to treat them right, I will be the biggest loser. And by this far, I think I've done very well. So far.
You're doing very well, clearly. Everybody's happy. Would you say that your family is your biggest why, as to why you work so hard, as to why you push yourself so much?
The family, there are 2 ways of the way I look at this. I am here for a particular purpose, to serve them and build for the next generation. So I always tell them that I serve them. If ever I make mistakes or I happen to make someone angry or cross, it's never an intention. So they are the biggest commodity or asset that I have as a person. So I always wake up in the morning thinking about them and thinking about what a generation and a family that I want. I want them to live like, I want them Celebus to be some sort of a kingdom. I'm making a particular kingdom, and in order for that kingdom to function, it needs to be given financial injection. Hence, I am able to work every day towards achieving that. I'm just saving them. Unwandle, as he's sitting here, he knows how much of an effort and finances that I'm trying to give them as my children while I'm alive, because there will be no inheritance. I haven't reached a stage of leaving any inheritance except the name that you know about them. So I am giving them. The reason why I'm giving them money now is because I want to see how responsible they are with money. I don't want to trust them that they will be responsible about money when I'm not there. I want to see how they treat people when they have money. I want to see how they treat their mothers when they have money. Because sometimes money changes people. it changes how they behave, how they relate to other people. I want to see them how they relate to people who doesn't have money. So this family is everything. So I must make sure, and I have limited time to teach all these things. So I must try now. And on my end, they have been giving me a green light on number 5, so it's a problem.
Thank you for that question. We will take one final question.
Sanibonani, ngibikele ngokukhethekile baba uMseleko. Usimele South Africa samathatha. My name is Undumiso Nzama, Director, CEO of Security Car Rental, which is a convenient car rental company based in Lokshini, Enanda, or we'll call it a rural area in the Twisted Campaign. That's another day. Baba umbuzo enginayo yothu owokuqala is about compliance. How do you balance? Most are from a disadvantaged family, so we're a family of 10 or 8. No one is employed at home. So you're starting a business in order to better imperial sekai. While you're doing that, trying to make money, there's also a compliance. Because when you're making money, you want to feed the family, but at the same time, you want to comply. So if you're getting 1,000 rand, below 1,000 rand, you must spend 700 rand for compliance, then 300 rand for the family. So obviously, family is going to suffer. But at the same time, if you put too much money with family, then the business also is going to collapse. So how you balance that to make sure it's a car, right? But at the same time, we are ones to comply with what is required in the business space. And then the second question will be, how do you prepare your partner, could be your wife or your husband, how do you prepare them to understand the space of being an entrepreneur, to understand the issues that you go through, that today, say we have 12 minutes, ngo-3 ntambama happy, ngo-10 ebusuku uyakhala. How do we prepare our partners to understand the life that we go through each and every day for them to stick with us and bakwazi with support in the way they should? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siyabonga kakhulu. I think your questions are related in a way. Let me start by saying sometimes as a person, this might be a contradiction of what I said earlier on. But as a person, sometimes you need to be secretive. Because the reason why the family start to expect so much from you is because they know that we are making money. Or you front to them as if we are making money, whereas we are not making money. And that is the mistake of the most black people. In some talks that I've made a reference that how unfortunate when I was at university that I missed certain things, which I should have been taught when I was there. At home, if you are a student, they are surviving with no fridge. They are surviving. But the minute when you get employed and you come from the university, then they don't survive. Very strange, eh? They were surviving when you were a student, with no fridge, with no microwave, nothing. In fact, you were also sharing a bed with your siblings. A bed that is torn apart, but you were sleeping. So I always give this advice, Babu Jamin, to say, if then that is the case, they can survive the next 3 months while you are being employed, but not having a fridge. Instead of you buying that fridge through credit, buy it with cash. So we must then teach our family to be patient with us. And we must not make a significant change in our lives that will make our families to be jealous and be mourning and complaining every day to us. We are also a part of a problem of making them, when they look at us, they think we have made it. Because we bring this life to them. No, If a kaya they were surviving by uphuthu nekabish, allow that to happen up until we are able. For example, I remember when I was growing up, we only ate inyama only on Sunday, or sometimes not, maybe a tin of fish. We were living. No one was seeing us that we only had an opportunity to have a nice curry only on Sunday. Install those values. Get yourself to be respected by being firm. You say to your family, thanks God I've got umsebenzi, but I won't be able to change everything overnight. Can you then be patient with me and pray with me so that I can achieve 1, 2, 3? And you yourself, you will be able to see what is a need in the house. You will start with that. People, instead, you see a pay slip, it's very misleading because it makes you qualify for everything. Yeah, pay slip is a very bad thing because if you go to JET, you qualify for whatever. If you go to FGAS, you qualify because you have a pay slip. Little do you know that come month end, everything in that pay slip will be gone. So you will then regret that we are even employed. But it comes to the relationship that we have. Honest is everything. Sometimes we are not honest. Let us be honest. Be honest to your partner. Tell your partner that I cannot live beyond my means. You know, we have seen, life is not the same. People are driving different cars, even here. Even here. And people, sometimes they come and enjoy life in the hotels and other things. It will come to you. It's better to start at a low level and end up at the highest level. It's better to start at the highest level and end up at the lowest level. Some people, they enjoy spending money which they don't have. Hey, let me go and enjoy with my friends. Well, it's fine if that helps you, you know. But you must take a certain amount. It's like when you go to a casino and you go with your bank cards. I don't go to a casino with my bank cards. I only go with the cash in my pocket. So that when I finish that cash, I know that the business is over. I don't want to be like thinking, well, maybe I might get this money more. No, it doesn't happen like that. So you must have limitations. Your partner, you must be able to guide your partner and say to him or her, I'm earning. Because the other biggest mistake is not to disclose how much you are earning. If you work to the bank, your partner thinks you have money. So your partner will expect a mansion here, will expect a Porsche car here. But if you declare to the bank and say, I don't have money, the money belongs to the bank. This is how much I afford. This is how much I can pay, take kids to school. We must disclose so that they can understand, because your partner cannot expect you to give more money when you don't have. Your partner expects more money because she thinks or he thinks you have money.
That's true, yes.
So mina nginayo imali. How can a man with 4 wives have money, whereas when a man with 1 wife doesn't have money? So it's worse in my case. So I'm simply saying, they know. If I can tell you the budget that I run every month, then you will realize you will never want to have a second one, because you will know then how much it is expensive to have a family. You see my saying, no, don't tell them. Okay.
Thank you so much, Baba Sele. You touched on a very important topic of the psychology of money, and which is something that a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, need to develop and learn at a very early stage in their business. Pam, I'm not sure if you allow us one more
I
person.
think there was one question here, two.
Okay,
Just
two.
take those two questions.
Take them following each other.
Yeah,
And
following each
then,
other,
okay.
and then we'll answer them together and then we'll close.
All right, thank you. We'll take those two people and then Bamusele will answer afterwards.
Hi everyone. Sawubona Bamusele ngokukhethekile.
Yebo.
Igama uSamkelisiwe ngowasithola Sibongo. I'm the founder and managing director of Lunyezi Farming. I'm doing poultry farming in a small rural area of Emolweni. My question to you, firstly, you touched on a very sensitive issue to me, specific when you spoke about being forgotten. So I want to know, how do you stay stable? How do you keep your brand stable? Specifically one brand, because I would like for you to be specific about Uthando Nesithembu, because I, for one, do not want to be forgotten. So I do not, I'm sorry, but I do not want you to tell me that other businesses or other brands are supporting a specific brand. I want to know how you keep that one brand stable. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Ngokhethekile Bamusele. This is Akhona Mahlati. I'm the CEO of Business Fit. We capacitate and train entrepreneurs, moving them from one level to the next. Thank you for some of the nuggets that you shared earlier on. You're really reinforcing a lot of what we teach and what we try to impart to the entrepreneurs. My question is, you seem to be an overachiever. It's difficult for many males to have one wife, let alone four. One child is difficult. I mean, you can imagine, and you times that by 10. The question, Baba, is you have grown and developed yourself from a young boy, man from Umzumbe to where you are right now. What is next for Bamusele and your family? So what is the next goal? What is the next big objective? What is the next vision? I mean, visions change. I mean, they're only temporary for over a certain period of time. So what is your next? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. You spoke about staying relevant. Let me be honest with you. The idea in its own, it's bigger than the individuals that are in it when you want to talk about Uthando Nesithembu. I always say, Ekhaya, we were fortunate and blessed to come up with this idea. Because it doesn't matter how you look at it, it's big. What makes it big is that there are people who love it so much that they want it, they aspire to be in the situation that we find ourselves in. And there are those people who are fighting it so much that they don't want to be in this situation. So the idea, it always finds itself so balanced when it comes to the talk about, because everyone will come with this. The other thing that we have done to stay relevant, we are finding a very dynamic or a paradigm shift from women who are saying, oh, now if men can be like Umseleko, then we can agree. So we have moved from Easthembu being something that is bad, but we have come to a point where people are saying, if a man can afford, then we can agree. Yes, because these women are saying that now.
Interesting.
So they are saying, if you love Polo, no. So if you can afford, yes. So it means we want to stay true to our core business. That's what keeps us going. We don't want to dilute it. Whether people are saying this or not, but the most important thing, we want to deliver. When people are watching Uthando Nesithembu, they must be able to see that we are genuine. That's what is going to keep us relevant. But once we start imitating and trying to do things that we are not supposed to do, then people are going to say no. For example, there are people who are saying, why he's not allowing 1, 2, 3 to happen, because these are modern wives.